Okay, so where do I start?
In the beginning.
I moved to Lagos over 2 years ago now, which is crazy to me. After living in Dubai for 13 years. 1-3. Insane. Then I watched it all crash and burn, literally.
And
I can laugh now, but trust me, it wasn't funny at the time. I burned out hard. Think insomnia, anxiety, crying on the floor type of shit. I actually have a clip. And I knew I couldn't keep doing life that way. So many other things happened as well. And I was like, okay, universe, I hear you. It's time to move on. And I did. I didn't have a plan. Let's just check out Lagos for a few months and see what's next. 2 years later. So I came late and a game is going on. So we're just going to watch the game while they get their backs into it. Honestly, as you guys can see, I don't really feel like sweating too much today because can you tell me when my lip gloss is popping? And I feel like just playing this game is going to mess up my lip gloss. But I committed.
Reminds me of one of his Serena sisters.
Okay, Venice. Okay, not me being Venice. So we decided to come to the Black Diamond Hotel to grab some breakfast and also to meet up with one of our friends. Too much drama. Say hi. Hi to Billy's vlog. Maybe the queen of balance, because who plays tennis and then has a glass of wine? Me, that's what I do. Business meeting.
Don't do that. You're going to pay for lunch. Do that.
I'm screaming. I'm sorry. I always forget that I'm a girl in Lagos. I forget. But I'm here with my sponsor. I'm a retiree. If I not advertise you,
I'm a retiree.
The girls will not be coming for you.
I'm a retiree.
Okay, so if someone is retired, doesn't that mean that they made so much money they don't want to work anymore? Look at how young he is. He's retired.
I'm under 30, Sha.
He's under 30. Do the math. Exactly. I didn't have a plan. I just knew I needed to come back home, take some time off, breathe, and then just figure out what's next. Because I just knew that doing my life the way that I was doing it was not working for me anymore. Bear in mind that I had reached certain heights in my career that a lot of people dream about. Like... so many accolades on my back. And the funny thing is, like, when all of these things were happening, I was like, oh, okay, nice, what's next? That was my mindset all of the time. Surprised that I got burnt out, surprised that I was not satisfied. To be honest, I feel like the life that I was building ultimately didn't fit the life that I knew I wanted to have, but I wasn't sure what the dissonance was. And taking that time away and doing nothing for the first time in my adult life was what I needed. I'm just so happy to be here. under 2 years living in Lagos, I finally feel like I'm settled. I feel like I've wet my feet. I feel like I've made relationships. I feel like I'm building the direction that I want. I feel like I actually know people. Like when I go out now, like I'll see people, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Such a small thing, but for the longest time, like when I would walk into spaces, like I really wouldn't know anyone. I was like, oh, this is kind of uncomfortable. I'm used to being in spaces where, you know, I know people or people know me at the very least.
On this panel session is Beni Giwa. She's an entrepreneur, fitness and nutrition coach.
Baby Giwa is a leading fitness and nutrition coach, entrepreneur, and wellness advocate dedicated to help.
As a fitness and nutrition coach, how do you encourage women to embrace fitness without feeling pressured by unrealistic expectations?
Great question. Thank you to Landmark team for having me. So I think the first thing is fitness is not about a look. It's really about how you feel. Society will always have an opinion, like she said, right? So a few years ago, everybody was trying to be thick, you know, BBLs went through the roof. And now, like, you know, it's like we want to be skinny, Ozempic and Jaro is in. So there will always be a season, right? There will always be a season, and ultimately your body is not a trend. The question is actually, how do you feel in your body? And also, does your body support the type of life you want to live? Fitness is about building energy. It's about committing to yourself. It's building discipline. And that discipline of having a routine really builds a level of self-respect that you actually cannot buy. It's taking that time to commit to yourself, to working on yourself. And it's really the small things. It doesn't have to be hours in the gym. Yes, we see the influencers who spend hours there, but that's just not realistic for most women, right? Even if it's 20, 30 minutes that you're able to afford, just pouring that time into yourself. And I always say as well, like, even with the way our bodies look, but even the type of fitness that we do, now we're all doing Pilates, but then, you know, we're lifting heavy at some point. It's always going to change. You have to find a movement style that works for you. Moving is, I mean, it's non-negotiable. You have to move. Our bodies are built to move. But if you like walking, if you like dancing, if you like strength training, if you like Pilates, whatever it is that you actually like, I think find it.
I'm using mic, but your voice is still louder than mine. What's going on? Come on! Come on! 3,
Driving in Lagos is a super sport. It's not even just a sport. It's super. I am on my way to Pilates. The girls who get it, get it. I used to hate Pilates, like, but you know, we're here. crazy, yeah. Like for the longest time, I really didn't like my upper body. Like, and I would never wear tube tops. But actually, I'm kind of feeling it recently. Like I feel like my shoulders are toned, but they're not like overly so. So like I quite like my physique. Before I thought they were huge. Well, before I was doing CrossFit and training like a man. Yeah, I actually used to have people walk up to me and say things like, oh no, actually there was one particular guy and that threw me off for years. My sister still makes fun of me. And he was like, oh, are you a fighter? And I was like, just a girl, but I didn't look like just a girl. I looked like a warrior. I looked like a fighter. This is how I typically plan my YouTube workouts. I have everything written out, programmed for the 20 days. Oh my god. I always aim to film 5 a day. It never happens. We typically end up filming around 3 a day. But today I'm going to try for 4. Let's just see. It's also like the day before my period, so like my energy levels are just not there. But still, we're going to try. Honestly, filming the YouTube workout videos are one of the hardest things I ever have to do. Like, it is hard. It's not just hard doing it, it's physical labor. But it's anything for you. Anything for you. When people talk about soft life, they see the aesthetics, they see the glamour, the glitz, and everyone's like, oh, I aspire to live like this. One actually talks about the grind. If you've built your soft life brick by brick, girl, I know at some point you had to work hard AF. Maybe you still do, maybe you just balance it well and present it well. But I feel like there's this kind of like feeling where like people don't really want to work hard, but they want to have nice things. And I'm like, how is it going to happen? Put in the work. How are you going to get the body that you want? Or to get the life that you want? Lifestyle. Okay, fine. Some people, you know, based on God's blessings, based on hustle, based on beauty, are able to like access certain things. Or maybe you were just born into that lifestyle. But if you're a regular, we ain't schmegular, girl, you have to work. Think about like the launch of the book. I was thinking that could be really cool to like really take people behind the scenes and what it's like to run the business, like everything. Just kind of like why I wrote the book, why I cook the way I cook. That could be a really good opportunity for me to like tell all the stories I want to tell. And it could be a series as well. 3 p.m. and I'm still here working. Come on, guys. I can't wait to be a fucking millionaire. Bye. So this series is about how I am rebuilding my life, basically just building more intentionally towards the life that I want. In Lagos, every single day, I am forced to be grateful, right? I'm forced to be grateful for what it is I do have. And touch wood, you know, I am blessed. I can feed myself, I can house myself. Of course, as an aspirational baddie, I still have financial heights I want to reach. I still have career goals that I want to hit. But for the most part, like baseline, I have a good life and I'm very thankful. And Lagos forced me to realize how insanely blessed I am. All that to say, if you're in a season of starting over, whether that's in your 30s or your 20s or heck, your 40s or 50s, this Soft Life Hustle Diaries is for you.